Welcome back, nieces and nephews, to GWAP, which stands for Just Everything with Auntie Pookie podcast. I am your host, Cindy, or as many call me Auntie Pookie. Now, on today's episode of Distractible Focus, we are going to have some intimacy without sex. You're like, what, girl? Intimacy without sex? Well, let me break it down to you. Sometimes when you're with your significant other, they want their head rubbed, their butt rubbed, their toes rubbed, their hands rubbed, something that just makes them relax. So, and I know everybody likes to get a little freaky deaky, but sometimes intimacy is not all about sex. So, let's get it. Now, if you have a partner, this is great. You can do this with your partner, or you can also just listen, tune in, and learn some things that you might want to do in your next relationship with your next partner. All right? So, if you have your partner, make sure you guys sit in a nice, comfortable space. You're looking at each other. Make sure you brush your teeth because you don't want to make this a funky intimacy without sex moment. But yes, you're going to sit right across from each other and get comfortable. Now that you're in a comfortable position, I want you to look into your partner's eyes and just look at them. Look at all of their features. Think about why you fell in love with them, minus them giving you McDonald's cheeseburgers every week because you love them, or cooking your favorite breakfast. Just remember, as you gaze into their eyes, look at their lips, look at their nose, look at their hair, look at all the freckles on their face, even the scars they have on their face, their eyes, their eyebrows, even if they need their eyebrows waxed. As you're in this moment, just looking at them, continue to think and even imagine all of the great things and great times you guys have had and are going to have, even the bad times and how you've changed those bad times around. Just sit in this moment. Sit in this moment and really just process everything. Now, as you are taking the time to check out your partner, say something nice to them out loud. Whether you think they're beautiful, they're a great mother, they're a great father, you think they're handsome, you love that they're goofy, you love the way they make you smile, just in this moment, say something very nice to them. Have you said something nice? All right. Now, at this moment, I want you to take their hand and just rub their hand. Feel the texture of their skin. Now, if you're ashy, that's your fault, okay? But rub their hands. Ooh, this is silly. Rub their hands. Caress their hands. Just hold their hand for a second. And continue to look into their eyes and look at them. Now, I know sometimes looking at someone in their eyes is uncomfortable. But when you're in a relationship, you have to understand that sometimes you have to get uncomfortable to be comfortable with somebody who really loves you. So make sure you don't stop looking into their eyes. Next, take one hand and rub their face. Just caress their face. And if you want to whisper good things to them, go ahead and do that. Touch is very intimate, even if it's not, intercourse. Rubbing someone's back is great. Rubbing their scalp is great. But in this moment, just rub their face. And tell them great things. Now rub their scalp, or their neck. Just enjoy the softness of every texture of their body. Now, for those of us that have weaves, be careful. If your woman don't like her hair being touched, or your man don't like his hair being touched, just continuously rub the skin. Caress them, massage their neck. A scalp massage is really nice, and also greasing a scalp is very intimate and nice as well. And if your spouse doesn't know how to do it, you can always teach them. I rub their scalp, or their neck, or their face. Now scoot a little closer to them. Make it so your chest and their chest is close to each other, almost as if you're about to give each other a hug. Rub each other's back, massage each other's shoulders, whatever you feel comfortable in this moment. And just whisper motivational things to them. At times, people fail to realize that even if your spouse looks strong and they show as they are strong to others, we need to continuously uplift them. Uplift them to the point where it's getting on their nerves, but in the back of their mind, they are so happy that their spouse supports them and loves them. Now hold each other. Just hold each other. Statistics show that when you hug someone for 20 seconds, the dopamine rises in your body. And it makes you happier. Continue to hug your spouse or even yourself. Rub their back. Whatever you need to do to make them feel like they are safe and comfortable in your arms. And continue to whisper those good things to them. All right. Now scoot back. Still be face to face with your partner. And be close enough to where you can just give them a little leg massage. And tell them 5 good things about them. Take turns now. Even tell them why you fell in love with them. Or tell them how much you miss them today. Just tell them 5 things. And if you can't think of 5 things, there's a problem. Just continue in this moment to massage your partner's legs. Or if you're close enough, still massage the hands. Or if you don't want to separate and you didn't separate, rub their back still and continue to tell them the things that you love about them. Now, grab a piece of paper and a pen or pencil or crayon or color pencil or a marker, whatever you want to write with. And write down just a cute love letter for your spouse. And as you write this, also keep in mind, it may be mentioned, how you want to love them if you haven't yet, or what you want to do for them, how you want to be loved, how you guys can increase your love. Some things you want to change, some things you don't want to change. Some things that you're struggling with that you haven't told them. Some things you may have seen them struggle with and they may or may not want to talk about it or haven't told you that you see. Now, don't make this a moment of, well, you leave the toilet seat up and I'm tired of falling in it at 5 a.m. Don't make it to where you are bashing them. Make the letter a letter of growing and growth and help. Everyone struggles with something. And at times I know it could be hard to talk about the struggle, or you don't see something that you do. But remember, there's always a way to say something to people. There's always a way to deliver a message in the right, respectable way where a person, even if they feel the slightest of disrespect or they feel embarrassed or something, you can always use that moment as growth. And you can continuously help your partner make themselves better for them, make themselves better for your relationship, and even make themselves better if you guys have children. Make them better as a parent. So remember, there's always a way to talk to a person. There's always a way to show someone you're concerned without getting thug life on them. There's always a way to tell someone you're concerned about their mental health or their health. And you want to help them get to a level where not only they feel more comfortable, but they feel better in general. Now, of course, these letters can help and cannot, but it's all about continuous work and continuously processing how things can get better. Now, always remember, at times it's going to be hard to love someone, to be there, to carry them when they're down and you're down too. But in this moment, as you write this letter, write goals and steps you want to accomplish when it comes to struggling in life and you're not sure how to handle it. You can express to your spouse anything and everything. Like, hey, I'm dealing with high school trauma. And they tell you the story of what happened and why you do particular things that you do, and that you want to not let certain things affect you anymore. Put what you would like your spouse to help you with. And for all you hard-headed fools out there, I'm talking to y'all. Just know that it's okay to ask for help. You don't got to tell your friends and your mama, your daddy. Sometimes your spouse is your best friend, the best secret keeper, the best everything for you. And if you have that right partner, and even if you're scared, take this opportunity to try and write it out. Write out what happened to the little old you in high school that makes you now feel so aggressive when someone questions what you're doing every day. Write about childhood trauma and help them understand why you've done a particular thing and why you won't do particular things. You can be with someone for 50 years and know them, but there's still things you may not know. And there may be things you've told your spouse 50 years ago, and now you're telling them again, and it may feel like a new story, or your spouse might be like, yeah, I remember you saying that. But a true spouse understands that The mind sometimes forgets stuff, but they will be there to walk you through and help you with whatever. Now, if they don't know the steps on how to help you, that is perfectly okay, because we all don't know everything. We all may have been through something that the other person hasn't. But for them to understand is even bigger than the situation at hand sometimes. So in this moment, be vulnerable. Vulnerability is very intimate. And so many people are like, vulnerability? Oh no, not me, girl. Let me tell you something. Being vulnerable is so intimate. Because there are so many of us that hold things inside because we're afraid of how another person will react. We know that some people might tell our business to everybody on the street. But being vulnerable with the person who you know has the best interest, won't judge you, will love you either way. It is very much okay to be vulnerable with them and talk to them and be able to figure out how to have a solution to any struggling moments that you have in your vulnerability. As I close out on this intimacy without sex, minus it being an exercise, but also relationships can be very hard because you go through so many walks in your life with a person who used to like the color purple, but now they like the color green. Or they used to like Coca-Cola, now they like Sprite. You know, people change and things change. But in this moment, with the person you feel like and know it's going to be the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. And heck, if you just want to be all intimate with everybody, that's your business. That's not mine. Okay, let me stop. Let me get serious. But yes, just know that relationships are a process. They are patience. They are acceptance. They are just any word you can think of, to be completely honest. And it's up to you to be ready for whatever comes your way. Now, you probably have written a lot of things down, or you've written some things for this great letter to your spouse. Now, I want you to fold this letter in half and keep it with you as a reminder until it is the right time. Give the letter to your spouse. Now, if you would like to give them the letter right now, feel free. And then you guys can start talking about the changes you would like to make. But make sure you at least try every couple of weeks or every other week or something to sit and admire your spouse, to love on your spouse, to comfort your spouse. Even touching them shows them or makes them feel loved. It may sound weird, but touch is very intimate without sex, okay? And each day or often, just let them know how much you love them, how proud of them you are, how grateful you are of them, how they make you feel. Encourage each other. Spend time with each other. Do something nice for each other. Date each other. Even if you're married, date each other. So that you never lose the intimacy without sex.